All right. So what do we see from composition in our castle? It's that we really need. So first we're gonna put the castle on the paper. Yes, and we really kind of need. So first we're gonna put its height.
Yeah.
And then decide. So what's its width? Yes, because let's say our paper, yeah, and well, we leave a little bit space above, yeah, and yeah, okay, below, but still, I mean, we kind of want to make it bigger, but we really need to fit it nicely in it, yeah. And then again, you can do either if your eye is good, yeah, you just decide, or you kind of measure. So I take the width and I see how much it fits. It's like 1.5 more or less, yeah. So then I can, yeah. So it's good also, for example, measure and both. So I practice, like I decide on my eye, yeah, and then I recheck. So how much I took, and see, yeah, yeah, maybe it could be a bit bigger. Yeah. But also when you do the details of castle, then it can change, of course, a bit the shape. Yeah. Let's so let's mark the details first, and then it will be easier to mark the lines of the ground and the lines of the horizon. Yeah? So also this line that goes here down, it's kind of also low. Yeah? So it's not really in the middle. It's so in the middle somewhere here. It's lower, so maybe upper point somewhere in the middle. Yeah? Yeah. And then also visually, I see where my door is vertically. It goes somewhere, yeah. Maybe leaving 1/3 for this white for the wall in the light, yeah. Mark and so this is the typical work, getting proportions, and yeah. So again, it's maybe not so strict as human face, yeah, where the millimeters matter, but still it's also something that should become in the end recognizable. Yeah, so people who know the spot, and so if they see the road, say, "Oh, this is the," I forgot the name. Sorry, but this is the
Fully acrylic.
Yes, yeah. Thanks, Darren. Yeah, and then also, but it's not very strict. Also, like with free hand, you kind of draw some lines. Yeah, in parallel, you can check this vertical position. So let's say if I have this wall in the light here, and I like prolong it vertically, okay, touches the window. Yeah, so then I can say somewhere here is my window, and then probably this tall wall is a little bit more to the side. Yeah, and then also kind of correcting a bit. What will be important in painting the castle? It's really showing this connection between shadow and light parts. Yeah. So already now, while you sketch, you can kind of memorize, notice where are these tasty moments. Yes. So freely, I just mark my grass. Yeah. So for example, of course, this light wall, yeah, and they also kind of show the structure, yeah. So then we can see, this door and this wall, they kind of on the same side, yeah, and also these little parts, so where the window is and the parts showing up. So there is also like little light part, but they are important because they create this shape. So I can also then mark this inside shadow. We see also, so there is the big part inside. Yeah, then also this part sitting on top of the circled window. Yeah, so this is also because it's kind of, and yeah, it's not necessary to mark stones or it's going to be done with the brush. So not just the, but for example, some parts that are definitely in the shadow, you can mark also with the pencil, because then it's easier for you to come back to them with the brush. So for example, this little shadow in the circled window, you have there this kind of half circle marked dark, yeah, because this is the part we see of inside. So you can mark this, and you can mark some, like a little bit of the door, yeah, especially if, where this dark shadow starts, yeah, because it starts here on the left side, and to the right side it's getting more gray, has more light. So I start there and I mark, and then I say okay. Yeah. So it's kind of, since I already, while making sketch, do this study in my head, but so then I also mark for myself, kind of. Yeah, because we know when it comes to the brush, it's sometimes then it's harder to keep. Yeah. And also, so then these important parts, like here in this window, yeah, here also on the left side, this light part, then I can also, I can mark it with my pencil and make it even a bit bigger if you want the size. Yes, because later with the paint it might disappear. So then just to be secure, yeah. And so and once, okay, now we were also getting inside the details, yeah. And then of course it was important, and it was, you decided correctly its height and width, and yeah, because now you look back, okay, you're happy with you know, its proportions, and then you mark to where the grass is going and the earth. There's some, yeah. In this case, sometimes you can also, in sake of, you know, artistic or something, you can lie. So for example, yeah, you can make maybe a bit more of ground or green. Yeah, it's already a bit more flexible. So also, for example, these bushes, you can decide either you skip it at all because you want maybe you know, to have the vision of see more, or the opposite, you say no, I make the bushes, they kind of cover the empty space of sea. So this is already comes more, no? And the horizon line in this painting is really, and like horizon line and sea, we're going to be painting almost like in the end, because the most important, of course, the castle and the sky, yes. So then you can also mark, but just with few lines, you mark the clouds, yeah, just where this big one starts, and the other line where the lower one starts going down, yeah. So and, yes, you can analyze if you want a bit more where this some other interesting shadows of the castle, yeah. And in this case with castle, it's very useful to use these halfly closed eyes. I mean, especially when it's going to be with the paint already, because then it makes the shadows together, And then it shows you where something is jumping out, like if you have some light inside the shadow. Yeah, take your time, no worries.
Yeah, we're ready.
You're ready, wow. So let's talk a bit, so the brushes. So in general, also this painting today is more like a watercolors style, yes? We're gonna be going from light to dark. So we're gonna start with this Naples yellow. Yeah, so it's, if you go sometimes and you buy, it's a really good one to buy extra because it usually doesn't come in a set. But for me, I think it's already second tube or something. Yes, it's kind of very in general it's orange mixed with lots of white. Yeah, but in this case you save also kind of your white paint in preparing this one. And for example, I also then use this Naples yellow and also white. Yeah, and then I become really this light. So this is this color of these light parts of the castle. And also when you do people or anything neutral you need, it's like gray. Yeah, when you need some neutral color, you add gray. And so this is also, but it's warm. Yeah, so and what else? And then we can start putting also on our palette. So, and then a little bit similar, like in the last lesson, it is these three types. So the raw sienna, the burnt umber, and black. Yes, so it's like light brown, brown, and black. And then it will be really useful for all these shadow parts of the castle. Yeah, also a little bit here the ground, and then you kind of mix them three in between. Yeah, so in some parts I get indirectly with black. This part that I mentioned you can mark with the pencil. Yeah, and the rest ones then I go mixing this light brown and dark brown, and sometimes umber mixed with black, so it gets more intense. So these three I can add. So I usually put them also together, small dots. In the black. So the other colors then two greens, darker green and lighter green. You can also have one green and then yellow, yeah, to lighten up. So I will put here. I will put both. So light green, then it's good to make this all this base coverage, and also the same like this wall in the light, yeah, and then these bushes are also coming in the light, yeah, and then I use again green and mixed with black. Then you can create these shadow parts of. So yellow you can put now, you can put later when you feel you need it. Maybe it's even just with white. Yeah, you can lighten the green and have it. Yeah, so and our sky. So I don't have purple. Sometimes, I mean, of course, it also comes ready. So I'm taking just pink and this kind of blue. So to mix purple, then it's nicer color you get when you mix light blue and red. Yeah, and also if you have pink, the better. Because if you take dark blue, red, you will get really intense dark purple. But I mean, you can add also white in it then. Yeah, it's going to be lighter, but nice. But it's nicer to mix just like red and blue and get the purple that you don't have to mix with white. Yes, because then it's nicer, intense color. Yeah, so this one also. Okay. And then of course the and white. Of course, we always like to. Oh, Jules is joining. Nice, perfectly on time. Jules, you're perfectly on time.
Hello, everyone. All right.
Yeah, Mel and Darren were so quick in the sketch, in pencil drawing. So I was like, oh, yay, nice one.
That's good.
So
yeah,
I
I did
will,
it last night.
yeah. Then I will repeat very quickly. Also, we have just put the paints on the palette. Yeah. So the main one and the first one we start is this light color for light parts of the castle. And this is this Naples yellow. Yes. So I was also telling to guys, once you're in the shop, it's nice to buy it because I use it a lot. Yeah.
What is it called? Naples. Naples.
Yeah,
Yellow.
it goes Naples yellow. And it
Right.
looks more like this light orange skin color.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So in general, if you just take a little bit of orange and a lot of white, yeah, it's like when we kind of create this peachy color. Yeah.
Okay.
So we get this one. And then similar like in the past lesson, we have sienna, umber, and black. Yes, these three. So like light brown, dark brown, black. And we're gonna use it for shadow parts of castle for all these details. And then green, depends which one you have. I have put light green and dark green. You can use only one if you have. So and then yellow. I didn't put, but so it's to make your green lighter. Yes, but
is that lemon yellow or cadmium yellow, or does it really matter?
Yeah, it's not in this case it's not very important. Yeah, so if you want lighter, of course take the lemon. Yeah, if you want just a little bit, then you can take this cadmium because of course it's more dark. So, but you can also use sometimes, yeah, only white, but then of course green becomes just like more pale. And if you want it lighter and like sunnier, yeah, more warm, then of course yellow. Yeah. And then I was talking about the sky. Yeah, so if you already have purple, then you can use it directly. Very nice. In my case, I'm using just blue and pink. Yes. Do you have Jules purple, or you're gonna be mixing?
I'm going to mix. I put a red and a blue, so I'll
Cool.
mix.
Yeah. Then mixing, it's also nicer. Mix lighter blue with red. Yeah, or even better, lighter blue with pink, because then you will get nicer purple color. If you mix dark blue, you're gonna get this dark one. Yeah, that's in general use both, but and of course when you mix and you get dark purple, you can add white. Then of course it's gonna become lighter, but it's nicer to create these some parts of these clouds without white. Yeah, so then it's more this nicely color. Yeah. And so the brushes, I have two small ones. One is like for all these details to get in the castle. Also some these kind of little parts of kind of stones there on the ground. And then I have two brushes. They're more looking like aquarelle, watercolor ones. Now, and then of course they're easier to cover the bigger space, yeah, and to create all this sky part. Yeah. Yeah. Take your time, Jules. We're so quick that
I'm there.
really, wow. All right, then we start. We're gonna put just so this Naples yellow, this light orange color skin tone. We're gonna put all around our castle. Yeah, so even all these parts were brown now, we're gonna just cover all. Only be careful, yeah, leave this green grass. Yeah, I mean, even if you cover, it's gonna be okay. The green's gonna cover it, but and the part of the window, you can still leave it open for the blue, for the purple. But in general, of course, your purple also would cover, but it's just easier to, you know, kind of you already create what's with color. Yeah, so all these light, so imagine how your light parts of castle wanna look. Yeah, even make it more white, because the lighter you make them, yeah, the better. So in general, I even put, for example, a lot of this paint now, much less, because still it's this Naples yellow and mixing with more white. For example, you can also add a little bit yellow in it, yeah, like to play a bit with this color you can get. So it can be different tones, but important that it's just very, very light. Yeah, and so I just, yeah, it's probably will be maybe also a bit hard for you to see now. It's, and I'll put it a bit darker. Yeah. So on my painting, so just covering the whole surface of castle, all its dark parts and light parts. Yeah, for example, I got into the green grass part a bit. Yeah, it's not crazy because we're using very light. Yeah, also inside the circled window, they're also going to be leaving our this light color. Also, for example, just adding more water also helps, yeah, to make it more transparent. So in case, for example, the color, the tone you got, you say maybe it's too dark, you can even sometimes directly on the paper add a bit, like just clean your brush in water and just wet brush get in, because it's kind of just dissolves your paint, and then you can get this less intense, yeah, in case you. And we just leave it dry. No. So it's going to be drying, and we will move for the base color for the sky. Yes. So in this case, we're going to start with our blue and pink. And then, so we're going to first take only pink, and again with white, we're going to create just very light pink. So imagine also all these behind, yeah, so kind of background. Yeah. So for example, you can take also bigger brush, yeah, so it's easier for the bigger surface. In this case, for example, I can also use this Naples one to mix in, yeah, because it's kind of also light. But then of course it's more white, yeah, so general and then again, and so this time you're not afraid of water. You kind of dip in your brush in the water and kind of wet. Yes, because this is more like aquarelle style. It means that like now putting the paint in some parts, it's going to be like, because of the water, it's going to be missing. But it doesn't matter, because we're going to go above with like second layer and third layer, and it's going to cover. But in this case, it helps us to create this graduate, yeah, color. So now I'm kind of preparing my base level for the sky. Yeah, and of course I start around the castle, because there it's darker. I don't have to be afraid to leave their darker color. And then I dip in my brush in water and just kind of go up to have it like more nice and even color on the top. Yeah? So now I'm working just kind of with light pink. So the tone you decide you want to have behind the sky. And then of course, when we start working with darker tones, then we're becoming careful with the light parts we want to save. Yeah? Both in castle, also in sky. So all these openings in clouds that you say, okay, these are light ones, then you already leave it with this light background color we have created. Yeah, so this is more exactly watercolor, how you work with them, because there you go always from light to dark. Yes, because watercolors, it's not like acrylics, you can't really cover. Yeah, so that's why, I mean, you can cover only with darker of light. So that's why all these light parts that are important, you do them and you save them from the start. Mhm. So I have put the pink base, yeah, all around. And well, I think it dries fast, so probably we can do I'm thinking, shall we go to the grass part, to the green? Okay, let's go. Let's clean our brush. Yeah. Still, it's all very. The brush is also light color, so it's not hard. And we're gonna do the base layer for the grass. Yeah. So also just something like this light green, and just cover all this where we did these lines of the ground. So again, you can also take just pure, for example, if your light green is nice color in itself. I mean, you don't have to mix it with white or something. You can put directly. Yeah? But if you feel your green maybe it's too dark, because still we are creating a little bit of like sunshine effect here. Yeah. So of course we have clouds, but like to the grass tone. Yeah, and these light parts of castle, still the feeling is more sunshine. Yeah, so, and like this, it's also the way you work with aquarels. You always need to jump from one part painting to another, thus leaving to dry. Yes, because it's always like sometimes you're impatient, you get in, and then you just yeah, spoil it all. That's why sometimes in aquarel very often you use hair dryer. Yeah, so you did something and then just quickly hair dry, and then it's dry, and then you can go over. Yeah, so and so I have created this just, yeah, I've used just this my plain green color mixed just with water. The dark bushes we can leave for later. I mean, or you can also, yeah, let's cover them also with light green. Just to have them there. Yeah, this is also one of general, for example, painting, also painting with oils. What you try to do, you try to get rid of any like white of your canvas. Yeah, so you kind of first just cover everything with base tone and then start working on top. So don't do my mistake as I did. I have forgot to mark inside the window. Yeah, but okay, still it's gonna be more purple in there, so it's not so. And also not forget to mark the green on the castle. And then, so of this time, this base color of castle should be dry already. So I can just go on top. Yeah, and also better like make it now lighter. Yeah, and then later you can always make it dark. Yeah, and now I'm choosing, for example, so we see that this green part on castle is kind of going over a bit of this light part. Yeah, so then I'm kind of rechecking where this vertical line of this wall is going, and then a little bit to the left where like the darker grass will be. So So, yeah, we can move. How are you doing? Yeah, nice. So I suggest we do another tone for the sky. Yeah, and then we go for detailing the castle. Yes, in this case, now we try to mix already purple. So in the same very spot where I was mixing my pink, I keep on working there. Yeah, and then, so it also might be less blue, yeah, and more pink, so, or red. So this is also the way you make proportions of like how your purple, yeah. So now if it get more red, then I get more blue again, a little bit more. Yeah. So you play on the palette once you're happy with your purple. Yeah, and then we do the same. So while our brush and all this paint intense, yeah, we work closely to the castle. Yeah, so where our intense purple is the, yeah. And then we kind of, we're going to be spreading out. Yeah. Yeah, and also don't forget, for example, if it's, you know, because water, it's leaving kind of brush marks. Yeah, because you just go later when it's dry, you go on top with another layer, and it kind of covers. Yeah. So of course you can try to work very accurately with brush and make it at once, but it doesn't have to be. I mean, it's, yeah. And then, so I put this dark, and then when I already have little paint on my brush, I get into the water and just kind of with the clean brush, I spread out. And it's also nice to move your brush like from outside. So I have my clean brush and I move from light spots back to the paint. Yeah, like, and so it makes kind of help me to you know, so if I move from paint outside, then of course I'm leaving this kind of, I'm spreading these marks, but then to correct, I kind of just go back in. Yeah, and also feel free to use the napkin, kind of drying your brush when it's needed. Yeah, so it's kind of working on this gradient, yeah, from dark, and then, so then again I go back in to my dark purple. Yeah, start another side where the dark is sitting. Yeah, and we'll go around castle. Yeah, for example, for later, for the third tone, you can take darker purple, yeah, the mix. So here again, I put my dark purple, then I kind of clean my brush, and then with help of water, I spread a bit out. Yeah, so it's not ending kind of strictly on dark. So I'm spreading out, and then later I kind of dry my brush and go from the opposite side back to the paint. And this kind of, I can kind of collect a bit of, if there is some, you know, extra paint that I don't want. Yeah, so of course we try to avoid that the color is ending kind of in yeah, in one color. We really like spreading it out. Yeah? And then also the so in this case I'm not using white, yeah, because like to leave this more nicer color. But later, this is also nice technique you can use in acrylics, not in watercolors. And later, for example, that would also help us to kind of nicer this change, yeah, from dark to light. You just go over with the plain white, and it kind of helps you to. Yeah, so. But this is more in the end where I'm correcting. Yes, also think a bit of the shape. Yeah, I mean it's maybe not so much, but these little clouds below, maybe yeah, could be just a little one with some. So I think the sky is going to be the one that have more layers, yes, because you kind of keep on working. You put one layer, then you darken it. And then I said with white you can lighten up some parts. Yeah. And then again, we can leave it dry. Yeah. Because if you keep on getting in while it's not dry, it's going to be creating these white strokes of the brush, yeah, taking paint away. Once it's dry, then you kind of already covering, and we know it dries fast, so. And the next step, then we're going to take some time to detail the castle. And then we go for this our 3 light brown, brown, and black. And I take my tiny brush, yeah, so then but I will wait, of course. Sorry. Now, all good, Jules? All good?
Yeah, all good.
Yes. All right. Yeah, Mel, Darren, can we go for castle? Yeah, okay. So, small brush. My first step, I just dig in directly into the black. Yeah. So also no water, no white, just kind of imagining almost like it's a pen. And I will mark this some spots like where the door is. Yeah, for example, it's very, because then it helps first kind of save these clean parts, and also it's already like creating the shape, yeah, because it's also the main point. Yeah, of course, okay, a bit more water, of course, if it's not painting, but meaning like just intense black. In the door, of course, intense comes from the left side, and then still you spread it out. Yeah, so even, for example, you can clean your brush, clean your, and then kind of get back and just spread what you already have with black to gray. Yeah, so we show this gradient that it's an opening, and there is also like a little line, yeah, that's like the beam that is going horizontal. Yeah, you can see some black part there between it and the vertical one, because it's already a bit old. So some kind of these details you can also notice. Then you can see maybe a bit more black. But of course, we can come back always for these details. First, like, yeah, not to. And the painting also should be also, in general, like it's good to work in all together. Yeah. So once you feel you're getting stuck into details, yeah, then like, oh, stop yourself and then go. Yeah. Okay. Then we have our window as well. Yeah, we can mark also. So especially, so this curvy part of window. Yeah. Then we also you can make some diagonal line where it's meeting the light part of this vertical, yeah, and then you kind of go up. Yeah. Yeah. It's also maybe, for example, doesn't necessarily be really black. This one could be also mixed with brown. Yeah, so you can do like now, for example, a bit lighter, yeah, and later just like with corrections. Yeah, but it's good to make it also because it helps us already to have this feeling of structure. Yes, and then it helps to create all the rest. Yeah, I will also put this line on this border, yeah, where this kind of broken wall is ending. And I think there is also a window. So if you have space between the green, you can put also a little window in there. No? So I will mark. Yeah, so painting with black can be also light. I mean, for example, where the door I have put directly very dark, but other parts can be also painting more with gray, you know, and then later in the process you can darken up where needed, and then you're safe to not have it too dark. And after this, we will move to light brown. And so it's going to be kind of bit both light and dark brown. So you can even sometimes have either two brushes in the hand. Yeah, it's okay to have like two and do some touch-ups with one, another with darker. Yeah, but what we're gonna do now, some more dry brush. Yes, not so much water for all these kind of lines that show bricks. Yeah. Of course, you're not going, you're not painting bricks, but just lightly. Yeah. Kind of just some lines that they're a bit horizontal, a bit vertical, but they're of course not. Also, like not too much of them, like so all the light part behind still is seen. Yeah. So and so I did, for example, where this light wall, I did it with the light brown, and then I can go in with the darker brown. Yeah, and yeah, maybe it's this step was a bit too early. Sorry. Let's go. Let's mix just some light brown and go with the shadow parts. So just kind of keeping gradients. So, for example, I took some brown and I mixed light brown and dark brown together, and I go now, for example, where the shadow. Yeah. And also going first where the shadow helps you to decide. For example, if the brown is too light, later I can go and make it darker. Yeah. But if it's too dark, then I mean, then I know that for the lighter parts, I need to add either white or lighter color, and yeah. So also I can add white for these other parts. Yeah. So now we are kind of gradiating the castle, and it's bigger surfaces. Yeah, so yeah, so here on this vertical part, I'm also saving some light vertical lines. Yeah, as we spoken, it's important to save them. Then we have this feeling of shape. Yeah, so you can go accurately with where the window is for this line. And then yeah, so also, for example, where in the shape there is kind of border, then of course there you can paint the line more strict, almost like with a pen. Yeah, and later it's kind of spread out. So it's, imagine like a cube. Yeah, when it's the border, you kind of mark it very strict line, and then and also on my palette. So then now I have kind of mixed all these three together, and I'm jumping between lighter and darker brown, depending which one I need. Yeah, so yeah, but still being careful with the light parts, yeah, not to darken all too much at once. Still. And then also try to save this horizontal white, this light of this diagonal like wall going down. Yeah. Then we put some darker brown here under. Yeah. So it's still like, to stay on safe side, always better put lighter color. And because then later it's also not, it's not hard and unite kind of. Yeah, if somewhere it's, so sometimes it's just a bit more water and you already have. And then once you have kind of these main colors, you know, more or less set, then, I mean, then it's already the question of time and how much you work on the details of some little shadows, some. Yeah. But general, of course, important to have this general structure. Yeah. So when you look it from far away, then you see, okay, the castle looks, it has this shape. Yeah, and already closely, then you have some. Also using just more brown, black is either you mix on the palette together with brown, yeah, if you want brown darker. Yeah, and if some parts you too much watery, then just leave it dry and. Yeah, so also when you, for example, have some brown, you can do also here a bit these corners, yeah, where kind of the stones on the ground. Yeah, and also with some some light you can get here on the ground to make some. There the feeling of some stones that are falling. Yeah, it also helps kind of unite castle with ground, so it's not like sitting separately, but it has this more. Yeah, and it's also kind of, you just add one color. So of course I'm not painting stones there, but I'm putting one light color, and then, for example, I go above, yeah, somewhere next, somewhere above, I go with darker, yeah, and then it's visually creates this effect of light and shadow, and then it's kind of, oh, it's something there. Yeah, so just, so with these three tones, light, middle, and dark, you can create this feeling of. Yeah, and also you can do a bit, come back to the castle, yeah, and then later go back again to stones. So it's, yeah, because sometimes you can't tell at once how much you, yeah, how much you need or how dark it should go. Yeah, and now maybe some parts of my castle is already more dry, and I can get on top with more detail. Yeah. And so this effect of bricks is also, it's kind of just darker than the base layer, and just kind of doing these horizontal spots. And so this window, I also want to leave it too too white. Yeah, so it's so maybe just this inside part. And then it's also how you help for this horizontal line that is going diagonally down, yeah, this light part. So I have created dark from one side, and then I also go and do a bit dark from the other side. And then at once it kind of shows up. And sometimes it really helps. You just take one, for example, yeah, like medium or light brown, and more water, and you go kind of all together in some part of the building. Yeah, so it kind of uniting. Yeah, so for example, you also could like did maybe some these brick lines, yeah, some details, and then you take look from far away and you say, and just don't be afraid and go unite it all with one, yeah. But also wait till it's dry, yes? Because otherwise all these brick lines will smash. Right. So if you get tired from castle details, yeah, you can stop, and then let's say we can take dark green, work a bit on surroundings, and then you go back. Yeah, and then it's also so I will mix my green with some black. It's more, yeah, and then also a bit like kind of dotting. I can create these bushes. So we're still not doing horizon and sea because it's really, this time is a secondary. Yeah, it's also better to see which color of sky in the end we have. Yeah, and then kind of we can decide the intensity of blue. Yeah. Yeah, so I can also, here also around the stones, I can put a bit of darker green. So for example, the bushes I can do more with like dry brush, like dotting, and the grass here below, I can already take more water on my brush and just like spread out some parts of a bit darker green. Yes, also in these bushes, I let some light green show through. Yeah, so helps again create this game. And here also next to the castle, it can also, you know, can put a bit more dark green. So it also kind of connects, yeah, the ground with the castle with ground. Yeah, and more to the bottom, then I can make it leave it more clear green. So if you want a bit more brown on the ground, yeah, then you can also. Yeah. And then again, I can leave it dry and come back to my castle and see maybe some. It's also this coming back, it's also kind of helps a bit look with the fresh eye and what you already did. Or also before coming back, sit back, take a look how it feels. Yeah. And listen to this inner voice that says, this corner, something is not. Yeah. And you maybe still not know what's not right, but when you already have this feeling, and then later you already decide. It should be darker, it should be. So if you're still with green, you can don't forget to put some darker spots on the green on the castle, yeah, because it also has shadows. So also maybe not so much, because still this is side we try to keep light, yeah. So just some parts. Yeah, if this light part for you seems, for example, too naked to something, like you can always get in with this dark, with some dark lines, yes, because still, of course, there is some shape, there is some bricks, one more up, another more down, so there are shadows, yeah, so just get in and create a bit more shadows. And then what probably, like it happened when I was doing the first, this image, this inside part where the shadow, I was like darkening it several times, yeah. So take a look and don't be scared, yeah, and say, oh, I did already, there are some details, yeah, even maybe there is also in the picture you can see there are some stairs, but still looking from far away altogether it should be more dark, yeah? So I kind of keep on darkening it. Yeah, and also you can darken up, yeah, some like in the base of the castle, yeah, some stones that are on the ground also darken up, and then the castle kind of gets into the ground. Yes. Yeah, also this vertical part, yeah, darken up if it's needed. In this case, I'm using mostly like this burnt umber, so dark brown with black. Yeah, I mix them. If you want, of course, send me your castles. If there is something you're unsure. Yeah. Now you can do it. Yeah. So you can go in detail, do a bit more the window. Yeah, this arc. We know all these arch that of course look very. This is the tasty moments of painting. Yeah, like we used to say, you should look always with for these tasty moments. Yeah, so always. Yeah, so then you can work a bit more detailed. And who knows, maybe you can send it later a drawing and it can become a postcard for the tourist information in this in the area. Yeah, so for example, I look my castle and I analyze, yeah, and then I say no, some darken up. Yeah, and this darken up, for example, all together works nice. So when it's dry and you take just one kind of intermediate color with water and you kind of spread it out, so you don't lose what is behind, yeah, but still it kind of unites and darkens the story. So, and when you let me know when you're more or less done with castle, then we're gonna move back to sky, yeah, because it also needs. Or first, we're gonna do a bit more. Yeah, sky and the sea. Yeah, so we're gonna put another layer on the sky. Let it dry while we do the sea, and then come back and, if necessary, intense the sky more. Yeah, and in the end, you can also decide. Yeah, for example, I have really dark clouds in the first drawing. It can be also light ones, because actually the picture of Darren is very light. Yeah, very nice. I mean, it's intense, but it's light. Yeah, so, but of course, it's in the end, it's kind of a lot of practice and to get it like quickly with a few brush strokes. Yeah, generally, it's kind of you keep on working to create the shape of clouds that So, So this time, for example, your purple can be even darker. It means just more blue, for example. Or as I said, you decide how dark your sky is. Because of course you can also. Yeah. But then already I'm putting, every time I put less dark intense color on sky. Yeah. Because of course, I mean, otherwise there is no sense making these base levels, yeah, if we later cover them. So then of course I'm putting less, trying to save already this another color that should look through, yeah, like a gradient. Yeah, and now you can also see and feel how nicely it covers, yeah, all the white lines of brush strokes. Mm. All right, I think it's time also to do the finish the sea, yeah, otherwise it's a little bit, it can help us to decide, yeah, the color combinations, how intense to leave the sky. And so in this case, I'm taking just blue, basically just direct one I've used for the purple. Yeah, still it should be more like neutral, yes, because we already have lots of intensity in sky, in castle. So yeah, basically, and then I make a thicker line, yeah, and a bit uneven here, you know, to show this kind of, there is some ground there on the horizon, yeah, and then more even color, a bit lighter blue for the water. Yeah. But very simply, like don't yeah, try not to complicate this part. Just yeah, of course you can decide, you can first put lighter blue, yeah, and then see how it feels. It happened also with me with the first drawing. I put more light and then decided that a bit more dark looks better. So that's why I'm putting now at once already a bit darker, yeah, because it was. But of course you can have it more different. On the other side again, on the horizontal, make it more thick line, just creating a feeling there is earth, there is some another island, mountains, or yeah, don't worry if you go over the bushes, you can just later with few touch-ups put green on top again. And also check if you're going straight your horizon, not like mine went a bit down. Mm. Mm. Yeah, I'm very excited how your castles are looking. Yeah, now I take green again, and I can make my bushes even bigger, for example. Yeah, tapping a bit over the blue. So as I said, you can decide maybe no bushes at all, or the opposite. I'll make them bigger, and it helps me to cover like empty space of, yeah, of the sea, or it can be. Yeah, once I have green on my, I can do another touches on the ground for grass. Yeah, just so this is like um, how it works. Yeah, you put the base level, then you put another one, then you already get into more detail. So just depends how much time you spend, and yeah, the aim is more detail. You can come back with dark green also to the bushes on the castle if needed. Yeah. Yeah, so if it looks maybe too clean, um, yeah, because in the end it's this combination of light and shadow. This is what the yes, and of course detailing matters, but I think really matters more it's this all together, yeah, how it looks, because I can do very nicely some detail, but yeah, if looking from far away, the picture doesn't, create this holiness. So, oh, and then let me show you, and let's try this. So I'll show you, and you see. So as I said, then for example, very nice to do. I take just clean brush and I dig in just into pure white. Yeah. And you can go just over your bit maybe more with water, yeah. But I just go over of my, and it lightens up, yeah. So if you say, okay, this part is too dark, you can just kind of pure white and water and go over, and it creates at once it lightens up, yeah. So I'm here experimenting so you can see, but yeah, and let it dry so it's not so let me see if I can lighten up a lot. Yeah, but of course, I mean, in this case, you lose this intensity. Yes. So this is what white is doing. Yeah, so I did one side. I mean, it's still a bit wet, so it's maybe a bit, but or also I can experiment on the lower ones. Of course, also control amount. If you do this, control amount of white in water. Yeah, so I mean, then it's not just white stroke there, but so if you want, you can try it, see just how it, I mean, it helps when it's really you need to put back some. Yeah, here, for example, I put a lot, and look, at once all these clouds that are below, they're kind of far away. Yeah, I'll experiment with other ones to see how it works. Interesting. Yes, now we can compare these my two drawings, and above and below. Yeah, so above I left the pure color, and here I put kind of just a layer of white on top. It looks nice. I like it. It looks more more behind. Yeah. So it's just, but I think it's nice technique to remember in acrylics. Yeah, so maybe if you did painting and maybe all too bright and you need to kind of lower the intensity of some parrots, you know, this can be the something is coming. Darren, let's take a look. Very nice. And let me see. I feel, Darren, a little, your horizon is a little bit falling, but mostly maybe it's also was on the picture like this. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, but so you can decide if you want to lower up like the right corner of horizon. Yeah. I like the castle. All the maybe it could work nicer if you darken up this middle part just a little bit. Yeah, because still it's much darker. So just this inside, if you want, it can create more this game of contrast. Yeah? And the clouds, I don't know if you have tried. If you want, you can try just what I was doing and telling about this, putting the white layer of white. You can try it maybe just with the upper level. Yeah, if you want, for example, just like lighten up like an experiment. No? Because I feel a little bit the clouds like, so there is no like center point of darker, but because I feel there are like some dark spots on the top and lighter. So, and of course, sky can be like this, yeah, but just for the feeling of image. And myself, I forget, of course, this inside window all the time. Also the first drawing. I mean, of course, I'm commenting, you know, just like what I have to feeling, but you, I mean, if you like, and can be all different. But for example, if like lighten up here a little bit, the corners, the left corner, yeah, maybe of the sky, of the cloud. Yeah? Or it can also help just if you have still paint, you kind of go back just around the castle. Yeah? So just maybe like because it also helps like to center the vision, yeah, where I'm looking. Because in your case, then my eyes are kind of jumping from, you know. And if you leave kind of empty some spaces, then the eye, yeah, it doesn't catch attention there, and it comes back to. It's also, for example, if you like study the paintings of the old masters, yeah, like Rembrandt, you see he has kind of almost all dark, and yeah, and then there is just one light and shadow game, and this is the center, this is the important, and that's where you're looking, yeah, and the rest he makes yeah, more irrelevant. Nice. I really like this putting the layer of white on top, because now I'm putting back a bit purple and it's kind of mixing, and yeah, I like this technique. It should probably work very nicely also painting water, like sea, and you know, more, because it helps really slow down some parts. And all right, looking for Mel and Jules process, but take your time, we are ahead. But also a little bit, Darren, just so this part of the window, yeah. So you have there this black, and then kind of light on the left, yes. And this is kind of creates a bit. So I'm talking just about these two vertical ones, yeah. So I feel, because this part is kind of the same like this big light part, yeah. It comes and then the shadow, so it's like kind of reverse. So I would do the light on the other side and this dark, but it's a bit tricky because of course in the picture it's kind of, this part is all in shadowy in generally, yeah, and there is just this one vertical showing up. But once in your picture you show this game, yeah, so you got it a bit reverse, yeah? um, right. Yeah, I mean, you can just put take like medium brown, yeah, and you can just kind of these in these middle lines of the window, yeah, you can put just a bit more just medium brown, yeah, kind of, then it will hide a bit this contrast with these black lines, yeah. Or it depends, yeah, maybe also not, maybe then it will lose a little bit of this light game, yeah? What you can also do, for example, you can a little bit concentrate with darker this line of this border, yeah, this could be nice. You see here I have almost like I did it just like pure line to dark one. So here in the middle where the grass on the castle is finishing until the door, yeah, and then go to the left side with more darken up. I think this creating this line could help also like more because I mean, because the building is turning there, and in your case, I mean, the feeling is that it's more like just curvy, like a sphere, yeah. Yeah, but still nice. I very like nice the game you did with these bricks, yeah, so all just lines, but the feeling is there is this game of a little bit more. All right, I will take off this tape from mine one. Taking off the tape is always so nice. I must say, yeah, the one I did now, lighter, I like a bit more. It's more, the first one a bit maybe too intense, but yeah, different feelings. So here in Chile, I have now, it's 8:30 in the morning, and I can see people already surfing in the ocean, and they've been there already from, yeah, I don't know, 7:30 a.m. And today the wave's going to be 4 meters.
Wow.
Yeah, of course I'm not getting any close to them, but the pros and brave ones, and
We've had rain, a lot of rain again today.
oh
The
really?
sun's coming. Yeah, but the sun's coming out now. It's really, really warm.
Okay, so it's summer rain.
Yeah, it's summer rain, but it's been quite heavy.
Hmm.
But yeah, I've been swimming, but it's been in the swimming pool.
All right, yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I've done my year of swimming in the sea.
Yeah, but you still do with the wetsuit and some days, no?
Yeah, some days, yeah, but most days I swim 6 times a week, but it's in the swimming pool before work.
Oh, that's you are really, it's a very consistent, nice.
Yeah, I do enjoy it. Right, okay, I've gone really abstract again.
Yay! I knew it.
Hello.
was giving up.
You-
That was
But it's something I should learn from you, Jules, because I'm always getting to picture, to photo, and
I don't know what's come over me lately. It's just it's not really me, but it's just it's there. I don't know what's going on. I'm not going to read into it. I'm just going
but it's
with it.
nice. It just kind of relax, let it go, and yeah, I'm here worrying and yeah, picking Darren about some light and shadow and stuff.
Yeah, that we're
but
not
should
worrying about
just
that in
let
this.
go and create the feeling and
Right, take a picture. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but there we go. I'm not going to analyse it. The different style that I'm going with at the moment.
yeah, and well, Mel run out.
Yeah, Mel's given up. She's not happy with Red Horse.
Yeah, that's I'm just kidding.
Here we go, right. Send it to him. enjoyed it though. I'm covered in paint, but
Well, if you're not messy, that maybe, I mean, it's part of the creativity to get.
it must be.
If you're
Right, here we
worried too
go.
much of keeping hands clean, then. Ooh, yay. Very nice. I like how the window turned out. Yeah. Kind of.
Yeah, I started going with a small knife.
Uh-huh.
I drew it out first of all,
Yeah.
and then I started putting in the detail and everything else. And then I was like, oh, look all that paint on my palette. Oh no, I've got to use it.
Yeah. I like very much like this lower part where the grass is. Like very nice, you know, you have these parts of paper, I think, left. And it kind of creates this texture. Yeah. So it's imagine just like one stroke of palette knife and here you go.
There we have it. Oh well.
Yeah.
It might not last forever, so I've got to go with it.
Yeah. I have no doubt someone will want to steal it from you and say, oh, I want this painting. Looks nice. Especially if someone made a trip to visit this castle, yeah, and then you recognize it on the painting, then you kind of have this.
I'm trying to think who the artist is, but there's an artist that really went for really dark, thick paint, and I can't think who it is. I have to look him up. It's a man, I know that. And I was like, I don't even know where that's come from. But it's there.
Yeah.
Gone here today, so
right, okay then, well, have a good week.
Yeah, good weekend, Darren, Mel. Yeah, thanks for joining.
and
Yeah, I'll be waiting for the Mel picture. Yeah, tell her.
All right then, take care.
Yeah, you too.
You want to come up with an idea for next week?
Yes, I'm acceptable, Darren. Yeah, or anyone, Jules also. If
but
you
we're
have
away this week. Yeah, we're away this week. We're going to Cheddar, which is they've got the gorge there and everything. You know, Darren, won't you? Yeah. So I'll take some pictures.
Yay! Yes.
See if it comes out of that.
Cool.
But anyway, thank you. Take care.
I'll wait. Yeah. Bye, everyone.
Bye.